Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War raid stream, week 24, day 6. So today, of course we were grinding out the hero classes quite a bit. Stormcaller event in particular, just posted a video on that too if you didn't catch it yet. Going over everything with the Stormcaller class, basically what we've already kind of covered in stream, which is a few more teams, a couple of them adjusted a bit, and just in a much shorter video for any of you who haven't been catching the streams. Though anyone here is probably catching the streams, but for everyone else who normally doesn't. But anyways, other than that, we should be done with raids if I'm not mistaken. That or have a few battles. I'm pretty sure my guild cleaned that up. And if not, we might need to go do a few battles to go and assist, but I'm pretty sure they are done. If it'll load. Hello, raid. There we go. So let's go gain our little reward thing then. We got our orb, got our things. Feels good to finally get events done. For like 2 weeks there, we weren't able to get the events done completely. I think we're at like the second to last stage and then the or the third to last stage and the second to last stage, but now we're finally back to normal, kind of. However, if anyone still wants to join the guild, we still have plenty of space. It does look likely that we will not finish filling by the time Guild Wars comes around. It's not really too big a deal because we were kind of expecting to go down at least one bracket anyways. But yeah, we're still looking to fill 11 more people if you could do 1 million gold per week or so, as well as being able to do endgame content like bracket 2 or 3 Guild Wars, you know, just standard raids, invasions, all that kind of stuff. Let me know, because we still have 11 spaces left, and we're still getting to legendary tasks, even with smaller amount of people, as well as completing out the events now. So, oh, I did not mean to click back there. Anyways, let's go claim the orb. Hopefully it's a blue or purple, and then we'll go into some various grinding. And if anyone has any questions, let me know. As a good majority of this stream, we are going to be hero class grinding. I need to go get, what's his name? Oh, no, not a green! Why? Why don't you do that? Stop it. Okay. So, that's bad, obviously. But let's go and grind some Explore a little bit. Then we'll maybe mess around with some PvP. I believe I did all my dailies except for, like, Dungeon right now. Even Delves, at that matter. We just ended up doing most of it this morning. Maybe we'll go to Dungeons real quick, because I know I'll forget if I don't do it now. But I'm trying to actually level up, not Stormcaller, but Corsair. I want to have Corsair level 100 for Guild War next week. Of course, Guild Wars is next week, and Corsair is pretty good on Blue Guild War Day. And I don't believe we've ever gotten to try it yet for Blue Guild War Day, or at least not since he's been maxed, or when we get him maxed. He does gain a bit of a benefit from being maxed, because he'll end up getting a rogue bonus, which is basically free magic for itself. And if you happen to be using any rogues, it's even more magic for them. So that's the main reason I wanted to go and get that up. I don't think we're really going to be using it for Guild Wars. However, I wanted to have it as an option in case we do. So that's basically why I want to get it maxed. And we're getting there. We're currently at level 100, I believe. Or not 100. I wish. If we were, we wouldn't need to be grinding it. But it's currently at 95, and we need it 100 by Blue Guild War Day. Obviously a little bit before. But, which is right around the corner. But we should be able to make it. It doesn't take that long. I think we're about 2 hours away of grinding. And we'll be able to get most of that in right now. Obviously, we're not doing that all right now, though. But we'll get some of it in. And then maybe finish it out tomorrow night, just so we don't have to worry about it. And then on Monday, we just focus on the new troops if they're any good. I don't think we're getting any good new troops. I didn't actually double check though. We're only getting 1 troop, so the likelihood that it is good is less since there's only 1. Or wait, or was it 2? Never mind. There might be a new legend coming out tomorrow, or on Monday. I mean, let me double check. What's coming out on Monday? Is it even good? I didn't even double check, so I don't even know. Statistically speaking, if I say it's bad, it's probably going to be bad because they normally are. Oh, destroy a 5x5. This is the first low rarity troop to have it. It's ultra rare. It's a green-brown that destroys a 5x5. It then deals magic plus 3 damage to a random enemy and stuns them. It does double damage. Or sorry, it inflicts stun when doing skull. Has frenzy, so it gains attack whenever it takes damage. And it has huge. This is a troop from Stormheim as well. It is a giant. Unfortunately, that's not too good of an option. Though it is technically a board control option. But I don't think it's going to be better than the current combo that exists. Like, there's no spot it'll fit on the current combo. Which is Yarrow Fire Mantle, Fire Giant, Dawnbringer, or Black Manacles if you don't have Dawnbringer. Followed by Hindla. And I don't think he fits into that team. He's a green-brown. So I guess you could theoretically clear out Fire Giants, but why would you if you're already using Yarrow? So yeah, there's just no room for him in that team, unfortunately. I don't know. How good would a 5x5 explosion be on a 12 mana cost troop? That's a little bit better than some of the things it's currently on. Though that still doesn't seem that great. But who knows? It might have some potential. If nothing else, it's the cheapest 5x5 destroy that you can do, or I should say explosion, because it's explosion. You only get half the mana for it, whereas destroy is full. But yeah, it's the cheapest 5x5 explosion. The second cheapest was the legend from Dark Pits, was it? I think it was Dark Pits. Was where the other one was from. The one that had the bleed thing on it. And the curse and everything for 15 mana for legendary. And now this is 12 mana for an ultra rare. Not really a mechanic that's used that much. They added it a little while back. Barely anything has it, and everything that has it is pretty bad. Mainly because it's a bad mechanic in general. Or not really a bad mechanic, it's just, it's not as useful as some other things. Like, Goblin's single explosion 3x3 with an automatic extra turn is more useful than it. Where does Nimbus Bow come from? Soulforge, currently. If you don't get it in Soulforge this week, you have to wait a... Oh, wait. Is it in Soulforge this week? Never mind. It's not in Soulforge this week. I lied. It is from... well, you can get it in Soulforge eventually, the next Strix event. But other than that, yeah, it's the only way you really get it. It's an old event weapon. You have to wait until it rotates back around in Soulforge. Or wait until you get like a $5 offer thingy for it and then get it. Keep in mind, there's two weapons that you can use for. You don't necessarily have to use Nimbus Bow. You can also use the other version of Nimbus Bow. One of them boosts based on Strix. The other one boosts based on... what's it called? Boosts based on Suncrest. I just use the Strix one because I personally feel like it's better. However, either or would do similar to that team. Other than that, if you happen to have neither of them, you can also just use Mountain Crusher or Essence of Evil. Probably Essence of Evil, because I believe it's missing green from the team. But there we go. Dungeon's done. And that's all the dailies that we actually have to do because we already finished them all earlier. Of course, our adventure board was horrifically bad today, but still, even when it's horrifically bad, it's free XP, if nothing else. Also, event key. Some people might want that event key. But the amount of shards it gives is only enough for like 8 diamonds, so not really much there. Hey, what was the Soulforge weapons this week? Oh yeah, it's Droxzoom. We got all the Droxzoom weapons. A lot of good weapons, though. We got Stone Slicer. We got Doomed Blade. Fire and Ice. All 3 of those are worth crafting. If you only could craft one, I'd probably stay between Stone Slicer or Doomed Blade. But ideally, all 3 of those would actually be really, really good crafts. Of course, you can just get this one from the event from spending 250 gems. But Stone Slicer is used with Gargoyles, as well as the new Hound that came in this week. Doomed Blade, all the Doomed weapons are good. Or all the 6 Doomed weapons that create Doomed Skulls are good, I should say. And Fire and Ice is just like a small alternative Dawnbringer, kind of. You don't really need to get it, but it's one of those weapons that's kind of okay. Particularly in early game. But those are like the main 2, I would say. You could try making sure you get. And of course, any of the old weapons are still used for kingdom upgrades and stuff. Anyways, speaking of kingdoms, let's go and explore in this kingdom because we need EXP and a lot of it. I think we're only like 95.5, if even that. And we need to reach 100. Yep, that's pretty much where we are. 95.25. Or a third, I mean. Fractions, how do they work? But no, that's more like a third. Let's see. Should you get the new class weapon from the shop? No, you can just get it for 250 wins. Generally, you should never get the new class weapons by buying with them with gems. You should always get them through 250 wins. Because 250 wins, if you're just spamming Explore like we are now, only takes around 2 to 3 hours or so to be able to get 250 wins. It can even be done in under 2 hours if you're winning at this rate, which is over 3 per minute. Would only take like an hour and a half. But generally, it's going to take like 2 or 3 hours or so, assuming you win slightly slower. It's like an hour and a half to 3 hours, basically, is the range. And yeah, you might as well not spend the gems on it. If you're not going to go far in the event, you might as well not spend any gems on it and just get it through natural grinding. Because it doesn't take that long at all. Yeah, 250 wins is the way you should always claim the weapons. It is not worth spending gems to get the weapon, ever. Unless you're just doing the event just to try to like power level the class. But unless you have like an absurd amount of gems, you should never do it. You should always just not touch the event, only do the free battles, and just get the weapon by doing 250 wins. If you've already been playing the class, you could probably get it done by the end of this stream just by spamming Explore. What do we take here? It won't cost you a single gem. Yep, that's not the direction I want. He's gonna summon, but it's not gonna matter. Even with his HP gain, it's still gonna wipe him very easily. Also, I didn't say hello to everyone. Hello, William. Hello, Isabel. Hello, Cookie. If Gems of War ever does a contest to incorporate a community figure into Gems of War, I'd vote for you. They were considering it in the past. There was just issues with intellectual properties. One of the reasons why they haven't done crossovers with the game too. Once they finally figure that out, and once they finally do the first crossover, it'd probably be easier for them to implement something like that. But as of currently, they haven't figured out some kind of plan for it, and it's probably not on their priority list of things to do. Though they might eventually. Yeah, it's something that might eventually happen. You never know. We don't have any fluffy dragons in Gems of War. It'll be the first one. Let's see. We'll take the explosion there. Hello, Michael. Hello, Stacy. Hello, Corn. Hello, James. Hello, Red Devil. Bottom of bracket 2 moves down by 2. Oh, no. You're right, aren't you? I forget if bracket 2 moves down by 2 or not. I know bracket 1 moves down by 1. I forget if bracket 2 also moves down by 1. I feel like it does, but I'm not certain on that. I actually do not know off the top of my head. Oh, that's bad. We might be going to bracket 4. Though there's nothing we could do about that. If we have 27 out of 30, we'd still move down in last place. And right now we're missing even more than that. This is probably the last Guild War that we won't do properly. After this, we should be back to normal on Guild Wars, though. Hello, Mehmet. Hello, Motown. Welcome again. Hello, Gina. Hello, Iced. Let's see. But yeah, Nimbus Bow is in the old event weapon. Hopefully it'll be available sometime again soon. But at the moment, if you don't have it, you'll be better off just going Essence of Evil or something similar. Should you get the... Oh, never mind. I already answered that. What kind of crossover would they do? They never really mentioned. They mentioned it's something that they would love to do, but they never mentioned specifically what games they might want to do it with. Well, we'll find out. They might be doing merch next year. So that's one step closer to them getting stuff like that done. But you have to keep in mind, I don't believe they own the intellectual property of anything within this game, because the publisher's 505, and I believe 505 technically owns it. While they work on the game, I think 505 technically owns it. So if they want to do, like, let's say merch or anything, they have to run it by 505 and get approval and go through, like, this whole process. Not sure exactly what it's like, but there's some kind of process to it. They can't just simply do it. And that's the other reason why they can't really do crossovers and stuff as easily. It's also why the puzzle quest that we will be streaming tomorrow. We'll be streaming it like all day tomorrow. It's why it's a Nintendo Switch exclusive. They have no say on the matter because the publisher of D3 just decided on that, and they really have no say on if it is Switch exclusive or not, or what platforms it's on. But hopefully it comes to other platforms. I think it's just initially releasing as a Nintendo Switch exclusive, and then it's probably going to go on to other platforms. Same thing happened with the original Puzzle Quest. Puzzle Quest was originally, I believe, on DS only, and then it eventually came out on every platform. So they're probably going to do the same with Puzzle Quest HD Remake. It'll probably eventually find its way onto Steam and other locations. But it'll probably be exclusive to Switch for like half a year or a year or something. Let's see, what level are we right now? Still 94? Oh, no, never mind, 95. Wait, never mind. Wait, did we start at 95? Or no, we definitely started at 95. There's no way we gained a level already. We'll probably go until we hit level 97, and we'll hand out a code once we hit 96. Sounds like a game plan. Is that the only other thing I need to go do this week? Well, that in PvP. I don't think I hit 1.9k yet on PvP, did I? Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, as far as weeklies and dailies, we've already gotten them all done, other than tomorrow's dailies. We just finished raids today. Finish the... Oh, I do need to finish the class event tomorrow, though, since we're going for leaderboard. Because we'll have another 4 battles to do, which means we technically have another 6 battles to do, because we're guaranteed getting at least 1 Valraven. Skatey, I really wish she was a little bit more useful. There's a lot of mythics that are, like, really bad. And she's one of them. She's still used for Perpetual Blue Storm, and she does have one of the better summons in the game. But her abilities is so bad. Mana Burn with a double freeze. Double freeze wouldn't be bad, it's just double Mana Burn is a really, really bad ability to have. Especially since the thing that she summons has 4 times Mana Burn. Yet she doesn't even have 4 times Mana Burn. If she Mana Burned all enemies and froze all enemies, she would actually be viable, but she doesn't. If she was like basically an upgraded version of Queen Mab, she'd actually be viable. But that is not what she does. And there we go. But in some context, she's actually weaker than Queen Mab, which is weird. I think she's one of the only troops in the entire game where she's weaker than the thing she summons. Actually, I never thought about it like that, but that she might literally be the only case that is the case. Where she's actually weaker than the thing she summons. This doesn't make any sense at all. I can't recall a single other troop, for the most part, that can summon something stronger than itself, except maybe Sir Gawain. But he has a multi-summon, so... in a way, he still has, like, a decent... He's just used in a different way. While things can be more powerful than him, the things that he summons are... You know, he still has a multi-summon, which alone is the powerful part of him. Actually, I guess there are a few others that can kind of do it, but they have some kind of, like, negative aspect to them. Like, Sacrificial Priest can summon Abarath, which is better than it, technically. Even though they're both relatively bad. Oh yeah, that one troop from Shentang, that epic. I believe that's the one that you just mentioned. I actually forget his name. And Prince of Thoris is probably his name. But the I just know him as the epic from Shentang. I believe that's him. But yeah, he summons Christinex, and Christinex is stronger than him. I forgot about that. Though it's not a guaranteed chance, it's 50%. Maybe I should rephrase that. A guaranteed chance to summon something. Because that would get rid of both Sacrificial Priest and Etheris from that. Because his is only percent chance. Like, if we're going on percent chance, that one troop that has a 25% chance to summon Queen Jezebel, her summon is better than herself. But it's not a 100% chance like how Skady is. Actually, I guess there are several, because there's actually Queen of Sin. Queen of Sin's Wrath summon, well, it's 50% actually, is stronger than her, though the Lust summon is not. Oh, wait, is it from Bright Forest? Why did I think it was from Shentang? Yeah, Bright Forest sounds correct, too. They were both added so close to each other that I forget sometimes. I almost consider them the same kingdom. Because I believe they were released back-to-back. Now, I'm not sure why. Even though they're thematically different, I always consider them relatively the same kingdom. They do that a lot. I guess it's because Yagway Queen Titania combo is so strong. And they're both from those 2 kingdoms. Yagway from Shentang and Queen Titania from Bright Forest. Dragon eggs? Oh no, is dragon egg? Oh yeah, dragon eggs. Well, I don't know. Is baby dragon really considered better than? I guess it is. Yeah. I guess there are several things that actually do have summons better than itself. Because a baby dragon can transform into anything. Well, any dragon transforms into some really big things. Summons have always been a relatively underused mechanic in this game, though. Mainly because they don't normally add speed to your team. Like, the only time you really use a summon, more often than not, is if it does another effect that you're using it for. Like, if it explodes and then does a summon, or does a bunch of damage and does the summon. You don't normally just use a summoner just for the sake of summoning. That's a relatively weak mechanic, for the most part. Summoning in general is always just primarily used as a backup plan. Very, very few teams use it for damage. Like Black Beast teams and stuff like that. Or sacrifice teams. They're very, very rare. Because they're not that good. Yeah, Black Beast and that one Mythic are among one of the only few that can use it offensively. And Sacrifice. That one purple troop of Sacrifice. The Guardian troop. Those are like the main three. That don't automatically resummon. But then again, that one resummons, so never mind. Black Beast and Sacrifice are like the only two then. That are like actually viable. That don't automatically resummon. Because there are two that resummon. There's Queen, the Spider Queen. And I completely forget the name of that mythic. The mythic that's like Black Beast. That's basically what I know him as. He has a really weird name of Vosh something or something. Some kind of weird V name. Voshtagon? Was that his name? I think it was Voshtagon. Why does that sound correct? Something like that. But those two technically do damage based on summons. However, they replace the summon. Unlike something like Black Beast, which doesn't replace the summon. Yeah, Voshtagon. It's not Dragon, it's Dagon. I know for sure it doesn't have the R. Though it would be cooler if it was a dragon. That's not a dragon. It's a daemon only. It's Dagon, not dragon. Oh, I accidentally misclicked out of Explorer, though that's kind of convenient because our tribute's ready. So go grab that, take our 12 gems, and back to the grind. Let's get that level. Where'd it go? Yeah, we'll just keep doing Zacian. We get those levels. Should almost be at our next level as well, 96. We're getting there. There's so many useless treasure maps that we keep getting this week. Wish they would have made it literally anything else. Even something as useless as like 40 souls or something. So given that it's pirate, they should have totally done gold. Like 500 gold. They've done that before. That would have been way more useful. I guess thematically treasure maps technically work too, but they are so useless as a resource. I wonder if they're ever going to do a key for it. Probably not. Could you imagine if you got something like a glory key every single time you killed like a battle crasher? That would be insanely good loot. Way above anything that they currently do. Hopefully it's not a gold key though. It would have to be at least a glory key, because if it was a gold key, you'd be better off just with 500 gold. Because 500 gold almost buys 2 gold keys. We have all the battle crashers. I'm pretty sure the plus 500 gold battle crasher is the best. But sometimes it's 400 gold if I'm not mistaken. They've done both before for battle crashers. Second best is the 5 glory. Third is the 40 soul thing that they normally do, or is it 50? I forget if they increased it. It's one or the other. And the worst would be the treasure map. I don't think they've done anything else for battle crashers. Or if they did, it was like a one-off thing. Like I think Mongo at one time had a different resource for it. Or not a different resource, but a different amount. And if they were to do one again that has a different amount, probably the 5-year anniversary one would. 5-year anniversary of Gems of War right around the corner. It's in 2 months from now. Mid-November, late November is the 2-year or the 5-year anniversary of Gems of War. It's amazing that it's been out 5 years already. Feels way less than that. So the game doesn't look anything like it used to between all the changes. It's still thematically the same premise of the game, but it just plays so much differently compared to how it did on launch. In a good way, though. It started out like very, very, very basic, and then got increasingly more complex over time. At this point, the launch of the game almost looks like the beta or alpha version of the game. Compared to how much it has changed in 5 years. Okay, I'll get our explosion then. Hopefully he doesn't do anything annoying with that ability. Actually, what is that? Oh yeah, that's the Ettin's ability. That's why I don't recognize the icon. Ettin is almost never used. This game is scary complex now. Yeah, it did get really, really complex. I need to make like a new player guide again. I saw randomly the other day, though I didn't reply back to their comment, that they said the video was dated. I don't think anything on that video was dated, except maybe like 1 or 2 concepts. But I do need to make a more updated one for all the newer mechanics that have come in since that video. Because I think the new player guide, the one that has the most amount of views anyways, like the top 10 new player advice thingy, I think that had, it was like a year and a half ago, or even almost 2 years ago at this point. He started earlier this year. Yeah, this year actually hasn't had as much change compared to some of the other years. I feel like last year had the most amount of really, really big changes. Because 2 years ago, they did a really big graphical change. And all of last year, they ended up making really substantial changes. They ended up adding raids, invasions, factions, Tower of Doom, the new class system. Like, all like the really big things that are currently done in the current state of the game, other than like PvP and Guild Wars, were all added last year. Like, anything that requires sigils were all added last year. Every single last one of them. There wasn't a single sigil-related thing that has been added since Tower of Doom, which was last year, which was last November. And that was also when classes came out, this whole new leveling system for them. Traits were still on them. But like this whole thing that you see over here, this whole left column thing, this was all added with an update last year. This was not a thing prior to summer of last year. Where do you farm souls now? You use the same teams but you do in the Explore. Oh, I never did cover a video on that, did I? It's a pretty straightforward premise, though. It's the same thing. You just do it in Explore now. That's basically the whole premise now. It's a bit slower. Actually, quite a bit slower. It's like 10 to 20,000 souls slower per hour. But that's how you do it now. But yeah, I got a decently large nerf because of that, unfortunately. However, there are still areas within the game where you could do that. For example, the challenges that you get every single day, just soul farm them because they're so weak. You can also do it on weaker PvP challenges as well. And, or, you know, on the weaker explorers, like, or the casual PvP, if you repick into, like, fire bombs or other weak teams, you can still get away with doing soul farming on those. And, of course, there's Explorer. Where do you glory farm? PvP. However, it is better to wait for a gnome event. You can farm more glory during a gnome event than the rest of the month combined, because you get just such a sheer amount of glory per hour during a gnome event. During a gnome event, you can get upwards of, its average is around like 2,000 to 3,000 per hour, whereas a non-gnome event is around 500 to 1,000 per hour. So it's anywhere from 2 to 4 times quicker, if not more, during a gnome event. So you generally just do all of your glory farming just by spamming Explore or similar during a gnome event, and that gives you all the glory you'll need for the month, pretty much. Because you're basically, at minimum, 3 hours more efficient farming glory during a gnome event than farming it during any other time. Probably even more of a multiplier than that, as far as how much more glory you get. Glory gnomes can drop 1,000 glory in a single drop, meaning they can drop more glory in a single drop than you can farm in an entire hour. You can still find them when it's not a gnome event, though of course they are exponentially higher during a gnome event, which only occurs once a month for 3 days. Otherwise, you just spam PvP, is the quickest method, particularly if there's a +5 glory troop for the week, which almost doubles the amount of glory you get per battle. You can also use Titan hero class and set it to +1 glory. There's also a few other hero classes that have it. And while it's not much, it adds up to be about anywhere from like 50 to 60 extra glory on top of all the other glory you're getting, which adds up over time. And that comes out to about 500 to 1,000 glory per hour doing in PvP. Have I completed all the challenges? No. Oh, that's another thing I still haven't covered the video for. Gosh, there's several things. I do need to get around to those. Completely forgot about that one too. I was about to one day, and then got distracted with something I needed to do, and never got around to it. I've covered it on streams multiple times, but never have we done a video for it yet. Need to. The teams are pretty straightforward though. You run Explore team for the first 2. You run P-Team for the 3rd to 6th team or so. And then for the last few, you run Truffles. And that's all you have to do. And that's basically the whole premise of the video. And I'd probably explain what all the loots are and everything. The only main good loot, though, is the 5th tier, where you get 7 gem keys and 3 event keys. However, there are a few other tiers that might be useful to you. For example, one of them drops 10 diamonds. So if you're a little bit short on diamonds, you could farm those and then get your diamonds. One of them also drops epic ingots. So if you're a little short for epic ingots for something to upgrade, you can get it off of that. Slacking there. I know, I do need to get around to it. I feel like this last year in general, I've been covering a lot less guides, but I do need to get back into the habit of covering them. I need to like designate a day and just make sure that that day I like always have a guide out. It's just my schedule isn't consistently the same always, is the only problem with that. There was also one other thing I was thinking of in the past too. 1 week out of an entire month, I just go and record. I don't do any streams, except for maybe on Monday and Friday, just to cover the newer content. But I do almost no streams. However, I would cover like a bunch of guide videos the entire week, as well as pre-record stuff for possibly other weeks. That was something I was considering, because it's a lot easier doing a lot of them at once than it is to spread it all out across multiple days, as far as recording them is concerned. Like, it's a lot easier to record and completely get finished 3 videos in a day, compared to if I was to try to do 2 videos over the course of a week. What did I take here? Put a ruin down. I don't think they're going to add more tiers or challenges. Challenges are probably going to stay exactly as is for a while. I highly doubt they're adding more. Yes, PvP is best gold farming. The only possible way to farm more gold, though it's not consistent, is if a delve has Cedric in it, it farms more gold than PvP for the duration of the delve. However, that's not consistent because there's no way to have a 100% chance to have Cedric in your delve. But any delve that has a Cedric while you're running a gold farming team is the quickest gold in the entire game. But realistically, the quickest infinite is, of course, PvP. Because at most, you're only going to get like 1 Cedric a day, which only lasts for like 5-10 minutes to do the delve. And for the rest of the time, you'd have to do PvP for the best rate. Oh, so we should be about halfway there as far as our final level. Or not final level, but you know, for level 97. Final level of the stream. Oh, also, I gained a level and I never came out a code. I said when we gained a level, I'd give out one. Hold up. I need to go give out a code. We go do that right now. Where's our code section? I believe this was the almighty code that we need to post. Is this the one? Yes, it is. This is the one. Here you go. Here's the redeem code. Use it on gemsofwar.com for the game code section. And there you guys go. Let me double check that I didn't use this other one. Pretty sure this was the one I gave out earlier. Don't want to accidentally skip one. Yep, I gave that one out earlier. That's what I thought. Okay, there we go. Well, yeah, the one I just posted is the correct one. I was just double checking a different one. Yep, no problem, everyone. Yeah, apparently all of chat forgot about it. No one reminded me. No one wants codes, apparently. Although this is a Saturday stream. As I've mentioned in the past, Saturday streams do seem to have the lowest amount of viewership. I joked that we should make Saturday nights because it has the lowest amount of viewership. Make it like the, oh, what are those things called? Those little things that are on the profiles. They have a proper name. I completely forget what they are now because it's such a relevant mechanic for the most part. Wow. Why do I forget what they're called? You know what I'm trying to say. Everyone knows what I'm trying to say. I just don't know what it is. These things. Not those things. Oh, yeah, duh. You can't do it on your own profile. These things. They have a name. It's just they're so irrelevant that... No, they don't even have a name here. But these... Whatever these things are called. They have a proper name. I forget what they're called, though. But, a day that we just, like, hand them out to various people. And just, like, fight people in global or something. And just get a bunch of people to, like, give people those things. Because it's really hard to go and accumulate them these days. Because a lot of people don't really hand them out that often. So if we have, like, a designated day for it. Yeah, honors. That's the proper name. Thank you, William. I could not for the life of me remember that. But yeah, they're called honors. And there's a redeem code, of course. I make, like, Saturday the honor day. And we just hand out a bunch of honor. Speaking of that. How about this? First person who says hi Tacet to me right now, and everyone who says hi Tacet in chat right now, I'll give a honor to. Go. The first 5 people. Let's do it that way for now. We'll do it in other ways on other days. But yeah, let's start making Saturday the day we do this. How about that? I'll just give a helpful. First 5 people that say it. There we go. Helpful. 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 We got 2 more. Wait, did I already give out one to you? Yeah, I did. There we go. That's everyone then. Oh, wait, no, it isn't. Wait, we still have 1 more. Did I skip someone? I think that was everyone. Who did I miss? I had to have missed someone. There's 5 high Tacets. I have 1 left. Who did I miss? I completely skipped over someone. Let's see. There we go. Sorry about that. There we go. Hello, everyone. I'm not going to say that I'm streaming right now. Oh, no, I guess we'll. Oh, no, probably not. We're not doing anything interesting right now, which is why I don't want to say it. Here we go. If we were doing something interesting, I would say, yeah, let's go tell everyone we're streaming. But right now, we're basically just farming and chatting and stuff. You don't need to know right now. Just trying to get the last level in this. Man, we'll start doing that every Saturday. Or maybe even every stream. Or at least every few days. I couldn't do it literally every day because I believe we only replenish that by 2 per day. So we'd have to have like a gap in between. So we could do it on like Wednesday and Saturdays then or something. That sounds like a game plan. We might start doing that then. Every Wednesday and Saturday we'll do something like that. Why not? Sounds like a plan. Does it do anything? Yes. Honors technically do something. What honors do is once you accumulate enough of them, you get small little rewards. I actually completely forget what those rewards are off the top of my head. I believe it's gem keys, then event keys, then chaos shards, if I'm not mistaken. And they also give you an additional amount of extra loot. Once you reach the first rank, it ends up giving you, for your calendar, a additional 1 gem key every week, and then 1,000 gold per day. Once you reach the second rank, it's 2 gem keys per week, and 2,500 gold per day. And once you reach the final rank, which is completely maxed out, you get 3 gem keys and 5,000 gold per day, as you can tell from ours. You also get a cosmetic pet that you can only get from getting max honor. Once you finally reach the max prestige for your thing. That takes a while though. But once you finally get it, you get an exclusive pet. And then you get these rewards per day. But yeah, it doesn't do too much. It doesn't make that huge a difference, but it does make a small resource difference over time. It also gives you a different banner in Global. If you don't have any rank on it, it shows none. If you have the first rank, it shows a blue one. If you have the second rank, it shows a purple. And if you have max rank, it shows the orange one, which is once you have it maxed. Or the gold one, I should say. But, well, I guess it's orange. It's whatever legendary color is. The blue one's ultra rare color, then it goes epic color, and then it goes legendary color. That's as high as you can get it currently. And I believe the devs have a special one that kind of looks like mythic color or something. They have a different one, so it could easily distinguish the devs from everyone else. But currently none of them are in global, so I can't show it right now. They're actually probably sleeping. It is Australia time after all. But then again, they would be up right now. It would just be like morning time for them. Though they don't work on this day, I don't believe. But anyways, let's go and get that last level that we need. Yeah, the easiest way to get it is to trade in chat or to trade within your own guild. They originally said they were going to, like, not necessarily ban, but, like, make sure people don't do that. However, I don't think they're doing anything to regulate it, so I don't think they have anything against that at this point. They did initially said that they did, but they probably found it to be too hard to regulate that they just don't. Or they said that just to try to discourage people from doing it, even though they weren't going to enforce it at all. But the easiest way is coordinate with your guild. It gives you a little bit less if you do it with your own guild, or if you constantly keep getting it like repetitively given to you. There's factors that are hidden that we don't know of that make it so 1 point counts for less than 1 point when you get a little honor thing. But the easiest way to do it is coordinate with your guild to give all your honor to like 2 different people each week, or just all in the one single person each week, just to make it easier to understand. And then have every single person give them honor every single day for a week, and then rotate that around. Actually, I guess you would need to do 2 per week, because if you only did 1 per week, it would take so long for you to rotate every person. But if you did 2 per week and try to coordinate it so it's like 15-15, or I should say 14-14, or 15-14. No, what would it be? It would be... Yeah, it'd be 15-14. Yeah, that would work. But if you coordinate it like that, then you'd be able to rotate through everyone a lot quicker. It would only take what? It would take a little over 3 months to rotate through everyone in your guild. If you did it 2 per week, splitting it 15-15 or so. Or 15-14, I mean. Wait, no, it would be 15-15. What am I saying? Yeah, you'd still be giving a total of 15 total, each way. Because the other people can give it back to each other. If you do it like that, it would take like 3.5 months to rotate through everyone or so. And then everyone within the guild would be maxed out within like half a year or so. I think. It might take a little bit longer than that, but that's one way to get additional. That and trading it in global chat. Yeah, if you do it with your own guild, it takes longer. And if you repetitively keep getting... There's 3 things I believe that make it take longer. If you get a lot of it all at once, it takes longer. If you get it from your own guild, it takes longer. And if you constantly keep getting it from the same people, it takes longer. So, for example, if you were to, like, every single day just keep giving it to the same person. So, technically, all 3 of those factors would happen if you tried guild farming it. However, it's still better than getting none. I don't think most guilds bother doing that, but I know some guilds do. My guild has personally never done it. I've given it to people in my guild before, but we've never, like, entirely spammed it on someone before. Can you check the souls that you can get on Explore? You see that it doesn't change from hard to warlord? Yes, you cannot change difficulty anymore for soul farming. That's one of the other reasons why it's slower. Not only are you forced to have to do an Explore, but you cannot change difficulty. So you have to do it on normal difficulty. That is correct. One of the reasons why soul farming got so hit. Like a 10 to 20,000 less souls per hour. Due to its location change and the no difficulty change. Some people already didn't run it with difficulty, but normally you'd run almost always on at minimum hard. And in the case of Dragon Soul teams in Warlord too, but you don't do that anymore because it's not possible. they're completely removing all difficulties from the game starting probably 5.0 patch, which is likely early next year. They already made mention of that during their most recent Q&A stream that they did. Do honors fade over time? No. The only way you could possibly lose honor is if you have like really bad misbehavior, but I don't think they ever really bothered reducing people's honor. But no, there's no way for it to really go down. Unless you're extremely misbehaving in game somehow and a mod catches you. But that would be excessively rare. And probably would never happen. Because they're pretty lenient. 5 gems, nice. A little bit extra from the gnome. Not a gnome event, but we can still find gnomes. It's at a much slower rate. But yeah, your honor never fades, pretty much. At least not naturally. Once you get it, it's permanent. Unless you somehow get yourself banned temporarily or something similar. But those are very unlikely to occur. Ban hammer. Yeah, I almost felt like getting that emoji pack. There is a ban hammer emoji now, which is pretty funny. I wasn't going to spend a whole extra, like, 400 gems just to get a ban hammer, though. It's way too expensive just for that emoji. But once it comes back around in, like, 2 months, I will definitely be getting it. Like I did with all of them. That reminds me, do we have any emojis we can go buy right now? Let's see. Oh, someone was just saying, where am I? Oh, that chat was so long. No point in replying back to it. But anyways, what was I looking for? I was looking for, do we have any emojis that we could buy? I believe they're all on timer. Yeah, they're still all on timer. But once they come around, we'll go in and get them. Portraits I don't really use that often other than the one we currently have set, so I haven't bothered getting those few. And titles, I guess I'll go buy the titles. Let's see, where's my current title so I don't forget where it is? If it fits, I sits. Because I believe it auto switches as soon as you buy another one. Oh, that isn't glitched in battle? That's weird. I would have expected it to be glitched in battle. Oh, why don't they have this as an option? Hold up. If they can give rewards during a battle, why don't we just have a toggleable option in the menu so that the end screen doesn't take as long? If they can literally just do this and like have it auto go into another battle, especially for Explore. Like, why do we have to go to a whole nother screen? Well, actually, it's mostly a problem in PvP, but interesting. Oh, also, I need to go change my title to the correct one now. There it goes. There we go. Oh, wait, yeah, never mind. My bad. I misspoke there. Difficulties still work. However, the problem with that is you don't want to, never mind, not a problem. But they're removing it starting 2 patches from now, or 3 patches from now. Depends how many patches they do this year. But 5.0 will be removing difficulty completely. Possibly even 4.6, which is 1 or 2 patches from now. They have made mention of this. So do be wary that that will be removed very, very, very soon. Next patch, no official time on next patch, but it's most likely November. Like late October or early November. And then if they do another patch this year, it'll be right before December. That's when the times tend to be for patches. And then we likely get one late to mid-January. Which will most likely be the 5.0 patch. So they might do one other patch before then. But the first patch of next year is really likely to be a 5.0 one. Is there any way to really farm gems consistently? Not explore, treasure hunt. Treasure hunt has the quickest rate of infinite gems in the game, ranging anywhere from about 50 to 80 per hour. 50 if you just rush through them as quickly as possible, and 70 to 80 if you rush through them as quickly as possible, but you also use all the gold on gold keys and all the glory on glory keys that you end up accumulating from maps. And those are the ways that you go about it. You go until you get as many green chests as possible, rushing through it as quickly as possible, and then rinse and repeat over and over again. Takes about 1 minute per treasure map, and each treasure map averages about 1 gem. So the gold and glory that you get can also be used to try to get gems. So it's random chance. Yeah, treasure map's definitely not the funnest of things, but it is technically the highest gem rate in the game compared to any other method. At least relative to infinite methods. Technically, if you're looking at the amount of time relative to what you get, dailies, like the adventure board, have the highest rate of gems, as well as things like guild tasks, because the amount of time it takes to do them is quite literally seconds. And you get dozens upon dozens of gems from them. But they're not infinite. There's a static amount that you can do of them per day or per week. Oh, so did we gain that level yet? I haven't even been paying attention to the final screens, other than the fact that we're getting a bunch of arcanes. I don't think we did yet. Probably why I didn't notice it. That's why I didn't notice it, because we haven't gotten it. We're almost there. Yeah, being in a good guild is very, very important in this game. If you're trying to play this game as efficiently as possible, your 2 main goals as soon as you start should be getting every single kingdom to level 10 and trying to find yourself a good guild. The best time to ever try to find a good guild is actually coming up as well. Or my guild, if you're a high level, but haven't found one yet. Wink, wink. But if you're still looking for like a mid-range guild, good guild, the best time to ever try to luck is actually tomorrow and Monday, on right prior to a Guild War week. Next week is Guild Wars, and the Sunday and Monday prior to a Guild Wars, or technically Monday is technically kind of during a Guild War, but you know what I mean, the week of the Guild War. But the Sunday and Monday right before a Guild War are the 2 most times when guilds are the most desperate to get members. So if you're looking to get yourself into any form of guild whatsoever, those are the types of times you should go. If you're trying to find like a good mid-range or a good end-game guild, that's the best time to ever look. Because that's when the people are the most desperate to try to fill their guild to full. Because if they don't, they're almost guaranteed going down a bracket, particularly in higher brackets. But yeah, again, if anyone's still interested in joining my guild, we have 11 spots left. If you can do about 1 million gold per week, and you can do high bracket guild wars and you know, just participating in normal guild related events, raids, invasions, all that kind of stuff. We do still have 11 spots left. We've been able to repair most of the guild at this point. We were as low as 9 members. We're now back to 19, but still got another 11 to go. We're definitely not going to fill up before Guild Wars, but it's not too big a deal. We're bracket 2, and we'll move the bound down to like bracket 3 or 4, depending on what last place does. I completely forget if bracket 2's last place moves down by 2. Hopefully not, but that's not too big a deal if we do. The reward for bracket 3, 4, and 5 are exactly the same. As long as you don't make the last 3 places in bracket 5, brackets 3, 4, and 5 have the exact same loot. And we're at minimum moving down to bracket 3, so to a degree, it doesn't matter as much. What level do you need? My guild has no level requirement, though ideally 1000 plus, but it technically has no level requirement. As long as people can easily do all the requirements for the guild, or all the other ones, which is mostly just 1 million gold. There's a few other ones, but most of them, if you can do 1 million gold, you can most likely do the other requirements pretty easily. It's mainly just a small amount of the raids, invasions, Tower of Doom, stuff like that. Stuff that you would already most likely be doing. And it's mainly just to make sure that we easily get all the events done every single time without people needing to spend too many resources on it, if everyone participates. Because right now we're getting it done, but some people are having to pay more than they normally would, as far as gems to be able to get it done. Let's see. Where does the bulk of your gold from upper level, high level delve? Oh, you're basically asking where do the bulk of the gold comes from for higher levels? Well, quite a bit of it comes from tributes. Tributes later in the game, if you're in late game or end game, give an absurdly good amount of gold, as well as gems, but as well as loot in general. But you get quite a bit of gold from that. I did the math out for it earlier. I believe between your hourly income and tributes, I believe it's around 150 to 200,000 gold per week, approximately. Depends how many times you take tribute. Could be even more. So a bunch of gold's coming from that. Most of the rest of it's coming from PvP. Some of it comes from your daily delves. If you just do your 3 delves every single day, that alone is probably a couple 100,000 gold per week if you do it every single day. And yeah, it's a good bulk of it. And then whatever else this comes from, basically spamming PvP or spamming Explore. Explore is not as good for gold, but it still gives a decent amount of gold per battle. It's like 500 something gold per battle. And you get battles done in like 20 seconds. What does that come out to per hour? Let's see. Let's see how much gold we get for this particular battle. This is about how much we'd be getting on average. One single gnome cast and then kill. Let me double check. Whatever the gold is for this is about what we're getting per battle. If we'll ever load, if we times this by 180, that's about how many we're getting per hour. If we'll ever load. What is with this loading screen all of a sudden? The stream quality is perfectly fine right now. Why is the game being so laggy? You got this game. There we go. How much gold is that? 180 times 600. 180 times 600. So we're getting about 108,000 gold per hour by doing Explore right here. If we did this for 1 hour per day over the course of a week, we'd easily have the million gold. Because between everything else that we'd also get gold for. Sure, Gina. We can go get you in then. Just give me your invite code and we can go get you in. You're able to do the million gold, right? And if you can, we might as well just get you in then. But yeah, a million gold seems really intimidating early on in the game. I know even 500,000 gold when the Switch version came out seemed a little bit intimidating. A bit whack when I was in the #1 guild in the game on there. But once you start getting later into the game, it just becomes easier and easier. I feel like on average I hit like 2 million gold without even trying most weeks. And if I go out of my way to actually farm gold, it's even higher. But yeah, just give me your invite code then, Gina, and I'll get you in. You are on the PC mobile version, right? Because I can only recruit PC mobile people. Since this is PC mobile version, of course. And if anyone else is interested, we still have 10 spots left. Let me know. We're almost there. We should be about 10 battles or less away from level. Actually, I say that. It could even be right now. Let's see it. Boom, level 97, go. Nope, not yet. Yeah, let me go recruit you right now, and then we'll go finish out our little bit of grind. And then we'll probably end out the stream. So if anyone else has any other questions, now would be a good time. Because I'm pretty sure we're almost at level 97. Let me go get you recruited. What am I looking for? Guilds. Guild admin. Invite. And where is invite? Invite. Invite. There we go. Where's the recruit thingy? Recruits. There we go. You have been recruited. Welcome to the guild. Poisoned Lily. Let's see. Everyone, welcome, Poisoned Lily to the guild. Let's see, what's a good one to go with that? Sword. Why not? The basic sword. No problem. There we go. Okay. So, next order of business. Let's go finish this. Let's see, how close are we? We should be really, really close at this point. Let me double check. Fast. Fast. Oh, no, it's a little bit further than I thought. But we need 19 more battles. Not too bad, though. 19 battles doesn't take long at all. It's like 6 minutes or less. So if anyone has any questions, now would be a great time. Otherwise, we'll probably wrap up as soon as we get that final level for the night. Yeah, a lot of people have like random numbers and letters at the end. If you don't, that means you are the first person that ever created that name. Also, I believe all of them might do it, even if it is the first these days. Just because they didn't want people like being able to take other people's codes as easily. Actually, all of them might have it these days. I'm not actually sure on that. But yeah, it's very rare to see one that doesn't have any numbers or letters at the end, or a little underscore. Because a good majority of them these days do. Yeah, they added after a certain patch, like a year and a half ago. Mainly to make sure that people couldn't just simply take your name. And this was before that in-game name changes were available as well. So everyone basically would just have the same name as their code. And that became an issue with like redeem codes and stuff like that. Because you would be able to know exactly what a person's invite code is simply by looking at their name. Because almost everyone's name at the time were exactly what they started with. Because you couldn't change your name in-game automatically like you used to be able to. Or like you can now, I mean. So everyone's invite code was basically whatever their name was, which became an issue for something, so they ended up changing it. But yeah, having a base name where your code is just literally your name is very rare. In the current state of the game. Okay, get all that exploded, get another Wayne down. And shooting about dozen more. What would really be great is if they let you pick your password. Oh yeah, if you set a password up for your account, which I highly do advise setting up your account to verify your account and get the password thing, because it makes it really, really easy to get your account back. However, the password is completely randomized, and there is almost no way to remember it. It's like a bunch of like 15 random numbers and letters. Which makes it so it's almost impossible for anyone to ever get it. But it also makes it ridiculously annoying to ever remember. So much so that during the beta, I literally just reset my password every single beta. Because in order for our accounts to work on the beta, we need to go and re-verify them. Or not re-verify them, but we need to put in the username and password into it. And because the password is always so complicated, it's actually easier and quicker rather than trying to find where on earth I have it on my computer, simply just to redo it and just get a new one, because it is really complicated, the passwords they give for it. Yeah, I just re-verify mine every single time. I don't bother writing it down. It only takes like a minute to re-verify it. All you do is just click the button, wait till the email, and then it gives you a new one. It's also good to change your passwords every so often too, and that's basically a way to change my password every so often. Because every single beta that they do, I just change my password that way. What weapon am I using? I am using an old event weapon called Celestial Staff. If you don't have it, oddly enough, the best weapon to use there would either be the new weapon that literally just came out, or you would use that one yellow weapon on that one hero class. What's that called? That one Dervish hero class, if I'm not mistaken. That one full AoE yellow weapon. Or you could use the full AoE yellow weapon that just came out, either or. But, yeah, this is one of the old event weapons. I might end up replacing this out for the weapon that everyone has. Just because a lot of people normally ask what on earth this weapon is, but it's one of the old event weapons. I personally don't even know if this is actually better or not. It might even just be better running it the other way. The only reason I run it with this is because split damage synergizes with split damage. But, the AoE one works pretty much just as well. The other reason I use this is as a 4 lower mana cost. It only has a 10 mana cost instead of 14. And while this weapon is way weaker, it's a 4 lower mana cost, which is pretty relevant in these battles, because these battles normally only last like 2 or 3 turns. It's a lot easier to accumulate the mana for it. But yeah, it's impossible to get this weapon at the moment until it cycles back around. Actually, this might be one of the 5-star only weapons now that I think about it. I got it for free for Glory back when it was available for Glory. But this weapon's like 4 years old. I believe it was like the 6th weapon ever added to the game or something. As far as new weapons were concerned. Like the 6th or 5th event weapon. It was added when ssaszix came out. Which was like the March of the very first year. This weapon's almost 5 years old. Up there's our level, and 1,000 souls to go with it. Nice. Not from the level, but from the soul gnome, of course. Alright, there we go, level 97. So now we just need 3 more levels, 98, 99, and 100. Which takes about an hour and a half to grind. So we'll be getting that soon. We should easily be able to get that before next Guild War. Obviously, hour and a half of grinding doesn't take too long. That's like spreading it out just so it's not all at once. Do you know if old weapons will be able to be crafted at times? Yes. Most of the old weapons are. There are 34 old weapons that aren't. However, a good majority of them are. And those are the ones that pop in Soulforge every single week. Right now, it's Stone Slicer, which is an old raid or invasion weapon. Doomed Blade, which is an old Doom weapon. And Fire and Ice, which is an absurdly old weapon that's like 4 years old or so. I thought this was one of the 5-hour only ones. Apparently it wasn't. But maybe it wasn't, I guess. But yeah, you can find them in Soulforge once every week. They rotate about like once every 6 or 7 months because how many guilds or how many kingdoms there are within the game. So it takes a while for them to cycle. But yeah, you can craft most of them within Soulforge. There are 34 that can't be. I did a video on it once. I forget what they are off the top of my head. But they're things like Crescendo. I believe Celestial Staff might be one. Like all the old weapons from about 4 to 5 years ago or so are mainly the ones that are money only. Because then when they were originally added to the game, they were added with text that said they will only ever be available through this event. However, because there was a lot of demand for them to be brought back into the game, they ended up like selling them for $5. I wish they would have put all of them in Soulforge rather than keeping them like that. But all the really, really old ones that were stated that they would only be ever come out through this event, they ended up keeping as $5 weapons for the most part. Which is really unfortunate, but like the $5 ones are like ones like these. There's 34 of them, but I can try finding the video where that's mentioned. It's also mentioned on the forum somewheres. But there's 34 of them, one per kingdom, that are only ever $5 only. And Damon Lash is one of them. They're completely useless weapons more often than not. Like this you would never use. I think Crescendo is the most relevant one of them. But they're like really useless old content weapons. I can go get the video for it real quick. Might as well. Let me see. Where's my channel? Channel. And let me go find it. I believe if I type in top 10 cash only weapons or top 10, what did I name it? That's bad if I can't even find it on my own. Let me go find a search bar. 1 second. Search bar. I'm gonna just type in top 10 weapons, which should probably bring it up. Top 10 weapons. Oh, that's not the one. That's a really old one. Best $5 weapons. There it is. Covered it 2 months ago. But here's the video going over it. Also, the link in the video description of this video has a full list of every single weapon that is cash only. The link in the description of this video. So the video goes over like the more useful relevant info. But if you want to know what all of them are, the link in that one also has it in the description of there. But that's the video that went over it. And here we go. But yeah, any other questions? Otherwise, probably heading out for the night. You can do the requirement for the guild. Here's your invite. Okay, sure. We'll go get you too as well, Cookie. Thank you for joining the guild. I find it really funny that we're rebuilding the guild the exact same way that it started. Quite coincidental. Because this guild started 1 week when we were trying for #1 on leaderboard for PvP. And we ended up recruiting the entire guild off our stream. And that's exactly how we're pretty much rebuilding. I think a few people we recruited who weren't from the stream. But a good majority of them did. They recruited by that method. But there we go. You have been invited. Welcome to the guild. But yeah, any other questions, anyone? Otherwise, I'm going to be heading out for the night. Don't forget, Puzzle Quest stream. For any of you that are interested in that, the game was made by the developers of Gems of War. They finally made the HD remake a couple days ago that released on Switch. We'll be playing it again tomorrow, for most of tomorrow. Probably for like 8 hours straight, if not longer. So we'll be doing that, getting more content on that, fighting the first boss, probably fighting the second boss, and doing it all on the hardest possible difficulty. The hardest hero class, at least based on the game itself, saying that's the hardest hero class, as well as the hardest difficulty, on hard difficulty. So, yeah, we're still running through that playthrough. And we're reading all the dialogue. And there's quite a few funny dialogues in there and voices. I'm probably going to lose my voice again. But we'll see how it goes. But anyways, guys, I'll catch all of you later. Hope you all had a wonderful week or rest of your weekend. And, oh, wait, there's one other question. Hello, Neo. You're working on getting Primal Rift to 500. What's a good team after 150? Skull Spam. Using Mang with pure Skull Spam. You have green and purple as options. Just building Skull Spam based on that is basically where you go. One option that you can do is Mang, Apothecary, Keeper of Souls, and one other option, and build around that. And yeah, basically something Mang, Apothecary, Skull Spam, and the fourth troop is either another Skull Spam or a support troop to make sure things don't die. But yeah, you just run that through the entirety of the delve, and that's pretty much what you do for Primal Rift. Or at least the cheapest option for it, as well as what I would probably use too. A lot of like the better teams don't exist within Primal Rift because you can't use Iron Gut, which limits your usability a lot. Since most of delves are based completely, or most higher level delves are centered completely around Iron Gut build. Let's see. What class and weapon should you use for soul farming? Generally none, because you don't need to. Most of your team can normally function without it. However, Mountain Crusher works pretty good. Though if you're looking for a weapon, what do you mean like with soul farming? If you mean putting it on your team, on your soul farming team, you would normally just not use your weapon. Or you would use like a Mountain Crusher or some kind of mana generating weapon. If you mean on a team in order to gain souls that doesn't naturally have any soul farming, you would normally use the Phylacracy, that one blue-purple weapon that gains automatic extra turn, a full heal, and a bunch of souls. In 2 casts, you should be able to fully gain max souls with that weapon. It's a pretty bad weapon in the sake that it doesn't help progress the game forward at all. However, it's an automatic free turn soul gain. So in that regard, it's decent. But it's basically like playing a 3 versus 4 if you use that on your team, because it doesn't really do anything for your team other than give you souls, unlike some other things that might help you generate mana and stuff. But that's probably the best one, just because you can 2-turn it and it's takes 0 turns to cast. It's the only problem with it is it doesn't really help you win any quicker. It just is there to farm souls. But anyways, guys, I'll catch you later. Thanks for stopping by. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we'll be back tomorrow night, same time as always, 2 hours prior to now tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. To cover the spoilers and stuff for Gems of War and just finishing out the week. And puzzle quests for pretty much all day tomorrow. So if you have time, feel free to stop by while you're farming the class event, and we'll be playing puzzle quests. And we will be handing out 2 redeem codes during the puzzle quest stream as well. And yeah, that's the game plan. I'll catch up with you later. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye, everyone.